Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching Alphas Season 1 Episode 4 Rosetta, which I'm guessing means either there is an alpha called Rosetta or there is an alpha who can read and or speak every language like the Rosetta Stone. And yes, I'm just excited to see where we go next in this show. Thank you so much, Jessie, for sponsoring, and let's go.
You know, you could get it yourself, and that way it would be exactly the way you want it.
Yeah, I know.
Or
Oh. I was about to say he probably should get things like that himself, but... What's that?
Gary?
Gotcha.
Got who? What's happening here? I'm stressed.
Well done.
Intel says Red Flag's most aggressive operations are run through his cell.
Ooh.
He doesn't look so scary.
Okay, team. I'm stressed this is happening at the beginning of an episode. That does not bode well.
It's in the perimeter, 3 in the house.
Team 2, you good to go?
Hell yeah, my vest smells like cop sweat.
Team 1 and Team 2 in position.
Where are their helmets?
When the signal comes, run for the door. I'll get you in.
He's relying, he's trusting himself. I hope this goes well.
Milos, we got company.
Oh. I love him. I love that he uses his ability with confidence now. Oh, he wants that iPad, tablet. Ooh. We're gonna be able to get information off of that. Maybe. Oh Lord.
Bit static in the back room. Bill, do you hear me? There's only one heartbeat in the back room now.
Oh gosh. Where are the others? Oh God. They weren't concerned about getting to her, whoever she is. Was she like a hostage or is she quite content? Is she Rosetta?
So what do we do with her?
Good question, Nina.
If she's that sort of unable to look after herself or whatever, surely she'd need a carer of some kind. Or is she just overwhelmed by all the people in her house so she's withdrawn?
Just jumped out the side window.
They just walked away.
Yeah, after they blacked out everything, somehow they got away.
Could have kept up a perimeter, that would have been a better idea.
They sent us in here against the Alphas with unknown skills, and somehow we're supposed to know every angle.
Yeah, but those DOD's job.
Well, at least those two are getting on better now.
We have, right? Calls to see if I can get her into a home. And in the meantime, Sullivan's people will keep a watch out.
If she was living here before, surely she was capable of it.
Yes.
Can he get through to her somehow? Because he's on the spectrum as well. She was living here alone before. It's not like there are carers dead somewhere. So, clearly, she's capable of living alone.
If Red Flag has a plan, will this help us figure it out?
Murdering their enemies is their plan, Cameron. You know that better than anyone.
If you act like this, it's like you're hiding
Move
something.
on, please.
And you're trying to needle him at the fact that he was made to kill someone.
Bill, what have we got?
So, triggering device.
Bill means well, but he's not exactly... They have every right to see that material, to understand it.
So the big guys.
I think part of what annoys me a little bit with Dr. Rosen is he has the attitude of, I know everything, I'm always right. And nobody knows everything and nobody's always right.
John Woo guys.
Okay, Anna, I can see it now. I
Okay.
can see the sounds. Can. This comes after the eye. What's next?
I love this.
Help. Help what? I can help you find them. Huh.
Exactly, being autistic on the spectrum doesn't mean you're helpless or unable to help. And she was, this is her, I'm still getting over the fact that Rosen was like, oh, I'll call someone to take her to a home. Like, when you found her, she was very unresponsive, but if this is a house in her name and she's not dead, she's clearly, I've repeated myself a lot, I'm sorry.
She can understand me, Gary?
Yeah, she understands everything. Every language.
Every language.
She's a Rosetta Stone.
It's nice to meet you too, Dr. Rosen. She says that's a message for you from Anna.
Just because you see the world differently doesn't mean there's something wrong with you.
No one noticed that she is an alpha.
Gary did.
Yes, Gary did.
And so did Red Flag.
I think Red Flag is definitely seeming to me like the kind of organisation where their methods are very wrong, and maybe their willingness to hurt people or to like oppress, I don't know, kind of basing it on other organisations, similar people that aren't alphas is wrong. But like the fact that they're looking out for other alphas is a good thing, but the bad things don't make it right.
I'm not going to bed. I missed 9:30, so I'm gonna stay up all night.
Oh.
Now we can really talk. One friend to another.
Oh.
You sound like the lady on my voicemail. It's really cool, Anna.
The things you can do are amazing.
Huh? No.
Bless.
No, it's not so amazing.
I'm just so happy.
Dr.
I mean, I feel like Red
says
Flag
that
have spoken to her,
part of my
but
brain it grew bigger. She thinks that I'm amazing.
I do too, Gary. Just get back to work, okay?
Yeah, Anna, we have to get back to work.
is she really working? Like, is there a chance she could be ideologically aligned with Red Flag because she's an alpha and they're the first people that listen to her?
You okay?
Yeah.
Seems like Anna is helping us.
Ignition is electric.
Oh god.
Be careful with this.
Well, yeah.
Hands up where I can see him. Where's the bomb?
Bomb, I got no idea what you're talking about.
Did she tell them the wrong number?
It's not him.
Did Anna give them bad information?
A woman comes to buy groceries and pay bills, but I'm in charge of my own life.
Yeah.
I'd like to buy my own clothes. My mom won't let me. She won't let me buy a leather jacket like the one in Step Up to the Street.
If she wants a leather jacket, you can fucking have a leather
Dr.
jacket.
Rosen or your mother to take care of you. You're really smart.
Yeah,
Is
I
she
am
trying
really
to recruit him for Red
smart.
Flag?
I don't like to do some things.
I think I know you a little bit.
Yeah.
Gary.
The date. It should say 2011.
Count to 10. Anna, count to 10. I want to check something.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, I know, but count to 10 because I want to check this.
Oh, is she can't do numbers?
Never mind.
No, I'm staying.
Hey, Gary, just get in the car now.
It's
Hey,
a job,
Don't try
Gary.
and push me.
Excuse me?
You're trying to push me, and it doesn't work on me.
No, I know it doesn't work, and I wasn't.
I'm not leaving.
Okay, big shot. Well, who's
Or
gonna take
is
that?
she being
I am.
against
The
him?
big shot will drive himself back, or I'll call a cab.
I don't have time for this. Just get in the car.
It's a job,
now.
Gary. You do have to do what your boss
I'm not
says.
leaving. I'm not a big shot. I'm an adult.
I don't know what's the thing. Like, is it because she's so good with language she can't do numbers, so that's what mucked it up? Or is she actually trying to turn him into Red Flag because she's ideologically aligned? Because I could see her being a mastermind of it because she's a genius. But then they didn't try and get her when they ran.
I know why. I stood in their way. Apparently, Red Flag doesn't need any more justification than that.
Okay. You know, make things personal, you get emotional.
And if you can work out the full picture, that will help you catch them.
I like you, Gary.
Then why did you lie to me?
Mm-hmm.
You gave me the wrong number on purpose. But that was smart. You were smart. Because if you just made something up, I would have known.
I had to, Gary.
I know you did, because they weren't making you do
No,
it.
of course not.
You work for them, Anna. You work for Red Flag.
Why have you stayed here, Gary?
No, Gary, I don't work for them.
They work for me.
They work for me.
That's what I said. She's a genius.
We would never treat you like a child.
Yeah, well, I could figure it out. Because
I feel like it's so interesting, isn't it? Because with someone like Gary, who is on the spectrum in that way, it is very easy to kind of infantilize them and to kind of do everything for him. I feel like there is such a line between being like, well, no, you can go and get your own. Like, no, be an adult. And also him not being like, it's just so hard, isn't it, to know where the line is. But if you just keep treating him like a child and never try to let him grow up, he will resent that or not reach his fullest potential. Not that there's anything wrong with him being like this, but just yes.
I know the real numbers. Anna, I don't want anyone to get hurt. If you were my friend, then you tell me.
Oh, Gary.
You are my friend, and I will tell you.
Okay, good.
I don't want to hurt anyone either, but sometimes we don't have a choice.
Oh, she's gonna hurt you, Gary.
Society can't deal with people like us.
Just because your cause is right doesn't mean you can hurt the people that work there. I agree.
Make a choice for yourself,
But
Gary.
killing people isn't gonna make them not fear you. I mean, blowing something up is just going to make them be like, oh, some alphas blew something up. They're terrifying. Let's definitely not have any of those. Whereas revealing yourselves and protesting, given that the government already knows, is surely the best way to go. I don't know.
Yeah, so, are you really my friend? Or were you just pretending so that I'd send them the wrong information?
Of course, I'm your friend.
Okay, good. Because I did something. Sneaky.
Gary?
Sullivan, I think it was the girl the entire time. She is red flag.
The girl?
Yes. She gave us the wrong information and give her guys.
Exactly, Rosen, with all of your
Gary's still there.
great.
Bill, you and Hicks go ahead. We're gonna go get Gary. I know. Go get him.
Let's go.
They're not the military personnel, are they? They're trained people. But, like,
I'm sorry that
they should never, ever have discounted that she wasn't red flag. Just because she seemed different to other people or seemed like Gary, you can't discount that she's gonna have a... Dr. Rosen was so stupid, being like, oh, I'll call her home for her. She's in her home.
Anna, I had to. Make sure that nothing bad happens to you.
Oh, sweet
Dr.
Gary.
Rosen's gonna help you now. Like how he's helped me.
I don't need his help, and neither do you. I hope someday you'll see that.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Oh, Gary. Hopefully they've called in at least an evacuation of all the people.
That is the target. Evacuate immediately.
You should have called in months ago, before you got this far. And this isn't going to serve anything because they'll have the information backed up and backed up and backed up. I mean, I agree, this drug needs to be stopped, but... Oh my god. Is he willing to die? Seriously, that was not worth dying over because they will have the chemical formula backed up on servers upon servers upon servers in dozens of places. They'll just make more. You did nothing but killed yourself and maybe some other people.
You alright? Gary,
Oh.
I have a headache.
are you hurt anywhere?
No.
I know you liked Anna, but remember, I'm your friend too.
Yeah, I know, but you're not one of us. You're not.
It's true, and you hold infinite power over them.
I sent you an email, Dr. Rosen.
Ooh.
And you should read it.
Is it any more where he asserts some independence? Because here for that. For his sake.
I'm not going back down.
No, if it's too cold, then I can get it myself. I can take care of myself.
This is good.
I love you.
Because there's nothing wrong with having help and having people that help look after you, but he can do stuff for himself. Oh, is he still getting residual?
I'm sorry, Gary. I hope you are still my friend.
Oh, Gary.
Hicks warned me, and I did not listen.
Mhm.
I underestimated this young woman.
You did.
And not
All I know is that there's good guys and bad guys, and today your people put the bad ones in the ground.
It's not that
Yes,
simple.
they did. This is more than a criminal enterprise. This is a movement.
It seems a lot like it's people who just want to survive and not be at the mercy of whatever the government decides about them, and not at the mercy of people trying to take away their abilities or take away their rights. And I stand with that. I just don't stand with killing people and blowing stuff up. You know, blowing up an abandoned warehouse where there's no one inside for sure, that's different, but... Okay, so this was a really good episode. It's only episode 4. I really enjoyed it for its Gary focus, and the fact that he's starting to assert some of his independence and assert, like, he's not a child. You know, the way they were treating him, it had me at times thinking, like, oh, is he supposed to be underage? Like, you know, I know the actor clearly doesn't look underage, but, like, is he meant to be, like, 16, 17, and we're just supposed to take... But obviously he isn't. And, you know, being neurodivergent, being on the spectrum, it can make certain aspects of life more difficult. It can make it harder for people to do ordinary everyday things, but that doesn't mean that they are incapable of looking after themselves or incapable of having a fulfilling life. And I think Dr. Rosen, in the way that, because when he found her, she was withdrawn and she was mute and she looked like she was stimming, or I don't think that's technical correct term, like she looked like she was struggling, he was like, oh, I'll find a home for her. And that really I struggled with that from the very beginning of the episode, because I'm like, you just said the home is in her name, hers alone. If it was a case where you had her and then there were clearly people that had been caring for her dead in the other room, you might think, oh yeah, maybe she needs some help. But clearly she was doing okay, and I think she definitely played up her helplessness a little bit to begin with so that they wouldn't view her as an enemy. I almost feel like she probably, when they were fleeing, it was planned that, like, if you have to run, leave me, I'll play the helpless girl act and help the plan go through. And I think I like that they had, like, Dr. Rosen be flawed. It kind of adds up to my thing where his attitude of always knowing best, that he doesn't always know best. I don't actually dislike him, I just find him occasionally frustrating. I think as a character, Anna is fascinating, and as with everything, whether you're watching, you know, like X-Men or like in The Gifted when you had like the Brotherhood, and all the various different shows like this, you have power people and then you have like the power people fighting back. There is validity in their arguments. There is a lot of danger of the government using and abusing people. Definitely all of the alphas they've captured have had no real trial. They have no civil rights. They're just locked away and experimented on at the moment, which is something we need to look into at Binghamton or whatever it's called. But that doesn't give you the excuse to go around murdering people. That doesn't give the excuse to murder non-alphas. That doesn't give the excuse to treat other people's lives like they don't matter because they're not alphas. It's kind of like Dr. Rosen said, in an ideal world there would be no distinction. And if this show is going down the path of like other superpowery shows similarly, the idea is that eventually everybody will be an alpha. But in this time of change, one species or one subspecies or one version of person isn't any better than any other. And I enjoyed actually the concept of how the Red Flag phrased it, as they phrased alphas as being neurodivergent. And I think that is something that really speaks to our own society in how people assume things about people who are neurodivergent. They assume things about people who are on the spectrum and who are autistic, and it's a spectrum for a reason. There is so much more to that term than just the most, you know, the mute child rocking or whatever, like stereotypical TV show depictions. So I liked kind of that way of suggesting that these superpowers are actually just another form of neurodivergence. And when you think about it, at least in this show, all of the powers do seem very kind of related to the mind and to different parts of the brain lighting up, which I really liked. I enjoyed Cameron being more confident with his powers this episode. I enjoyed Cameron and Bill having some banter or like getting on with each other, not being at each other's throats endlessly. There's still a little bit of tension between Cameron and Dr. Rosen, but given how he joined the team, of course there is. And yeah, I think this is still a team that's trying to figure out how it fully functions. I definitely think there is always a power imbalance in that Dr. Rosen is the guy that signs off or at least stops them from, like, he's the one that could send any one of them to the compound for good at any moment if he thinks they've gone too far. And even though we know none of them are going to go too far or won't by choice go too far, unless their characters change rapidly, and even though from what we've seen Dr. Rosen isn't someone to make that kind of decision lightly, that's still such a power imbalance to have with him having that power over them. And I think it's really interesting because this is raising so many valid questions about the right and the wrong of how these people are being treated. So I love Gary taking on some agency for himself and being like, well, you know, actually I can do stuff for myself, you know. Just because he's a little different or not exactly the same as neurotypical people doesn't mean he's feeble and helpless. So I'm looking forward to seeing that going forwards. And yeah, I think this team is having some teething problems still, but we're starting to see bits and bobs of it get into a groove that I hope will continue. So this was a really good episode. I love getting the big reveal about who seems to be the head, or at least one of the heads of Red Flag, in episode 4, and kind of I feel like we're really moving the story forward, which I love. Yes, so thank you so much, Jessie, for sponsoring this show, and thank you for watching.